Hey guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. In catching up with the news, there's still quite a bit of looting going on, especially at night, pretty much across Argentina in different places. Last night it was mostly in Mar del Plata and a city called Concordia in the province of Entre Rios. If you haven't seen the previous video on this started a couple days ago, actually in a province called Córdoba, which is the second largest city in Argentina. It was outspread, complete anarchy, everyone looting and doing pretty much anything they wanted because the cops had gone on strike and they were demanding an increase in their salaries and their wages, and because the governor of Córdoba is not part of the of the political ruling system in Argentina, as most other governors are, they didn't give him any support. So they say, you know what, screw you, let's see your city burn down, and they pretty much let them do anything they wanted for a good amount of time until cops eventually stopped the strike and took control of the city again. But of course, when you allow that kind of thing happen, you shouldn't be surprised when it starts happening in other provinces as well, which is exactly what's going on. So you have looting in Concordia, in Entre Rios, you have looting even in Buenos Aires, in Mar del Plata, and several incidents pretty much across the country. This is footage from Mar del Plata. You know, people filming, you see them on the streets filming. Suddenly gunfire starts and shooting starts and such, pretty typical. Then this is also in Mar del Plata. They break into a store. That's gunfire, maybe a electric wire. She had said that there's a woman with a baby there. You know, people behaving like animals, showing the worst of them. But look at the amount of people. I mean, these are all folks that have to live nearby. I was listening to some accounts from the looting in Córdoba. There was a pharmacist that he was saying that well, he got his store looted, and this pharmacist was saying that some of the people looting his store were people he had known for several years, even decades. You know, neighbors, friends of his, and when they saw the opportunity, they went for it and they looted his store again. Also, this in Mar del Plata, this is a well-known boulevard. You know, you have a McDonald's here, at Adidas here as well. Just people behaving like animals. Let them run there. And one more thing to notice is the profile of your average looter. Your average looter is the creation of the current political system in Argentina. The average looter is someone under the age of 20, mostly. It's an entire generation that grew up seeing the corruption you have right now in Argentina. This is the legacy of the Kirchner government. 10 years of Kirchner ruling left us with this. An entire generation of people that they see it as their right to steal, to loot, to pretty much do anything they want because they are entitled to do that. And it shouldn't be a surprise. More scenes of looting. This is in Concordia, in the province of Entre Rios. Another store's being looted. You know, the amount of people that get here and start just picking these places apart, leaving with a mattress. You know, even with trucks, they go and fill them up. Lots of scooters, motorcycles. Then there's also this other side of things. Look at this guy, a looter with a mattress. He gets stopped by the neighbors. They start shooting on him. So the neighbors here organize so as to stop basically the looters. This is what happens in some places, and this is actually what you should be doing if anarchy starts breaking loose in your city. You organize and you do your best to defend your town, your city. Actually, they just stopped him, shot a couple of warning shots or something like that, and they're basically letting him leave with his motorcycle, just leaving the stuff that he looted. And these are actually employees of a store, so as well as neighbors, just doing whatever they can so as to stop this madness. So it's pretty sad to see this happening in Argentina. You never want to see these images of your own country, but it's amazing how stupid the government is in many ways. Just thinking that this all started. Looting has been happening in Argentina ever since the big crisis when the economy collapsed in 2001. Every once in a while, especially in summer, I don't know if it's the heat, but occasionally you would be seeing looting here and there, as well as, of course, quite a bit of daily crime, which could be anything from kidnappings. I was just reading I think it was in Morón, the district of Morón in Buenos Aires, over 60 kidnaps just in that location during 2013. So crime is pretty rampant, but this kind of more widespread anarchy is not something that was that common a couple years ago. Especially what we saw just a few days ago in Córdoba, an entire city being left for the pigs by looters. That's really not at all common. Basically, they just did anything they wanted in that city. That would be a little bit different from what you're used to. Now, it's childish in many ways how the Kirchner government basically used that as punishment for the governor of Córdoba that's not loyal to them. He's not affiliated with their political party, the Kirchner party. So a way of punishing him was letting the strike of the police go wild, not giving him any of the support he was asking by the military so as to control the streets. They just basically told him, it's not our problem. It's not a problem of the nation. It's your problem. Handle it any way you can. He had no way of handling, so you had a couple days of anarchy in Córdoba. Now, look how stupid they are. They didn't realize that other cops in other provinces as well would see this and say, okay, if they got away with going on strike, letting the city burn so as to get a raise, we're going to be doing the same. So all these cops in different provinces and such, all across Argentina, are basically replicating what the cops in Córdoba did, because it actually worked for them. They got the raise they were looking for. And if you can suddenly double your wage, especially if you're getting underpaid, if you're getting actually very poor salaries, then it's understandable. It's gonna be people are gonna be doing that. So it shouldn't be a surprise that's happening elsewhere in other provinces that are affiliated to these bastards running the country. So they ended up hurting their own. The provinces that were friends with them, their own provinces, by trying to screw the guy in Córdoba. Not only that, what ends up happening is that people in general have the feeling that it's okay to start looting and going wild, and they realize that the more it happens, the less it can be controlled, because no country, no matter where that is, actually is, and this is something to keep in mind, no country has enough police force or military force to stop the entire population from going wild and starting looting and complete anarchy in the streets. There's simply no police force capable of doing that. There's always a mantle self-restraint, because people think if I start doing this, I'm going to be ending up in jail. That's why a lot of people that would otherwise do it don't commit crimes. Now, the minute they realize they can get away with it, they start showing their true colors, like this person in Córdoba, the pharmacist, seeing his own neighbors, even friends, looting from him. So, it's just more stuff to keep in mind. Guys, my next video is going to be about what it is that you can do, or what it is that you should be doing actually when this starts happening in your city. A lot of poor advice out there, which is taken for granted as actually pretty good ideas. Something that I covered in the previous video as well. Bad advice that you really shouldn't be following, because it's not based on this. This is reality. At the very least, this happened in somewhere at some time. It happened actually pretty recently. And you can learn from this stuff, seeing what worked for people, what didn't work. All right? That's the kind of knowledge you should be looking for. Stuff that has worked for someone at some point. Okay, so that's going to be a topic of the next video. Stay tuned, guys. Remember to subscribe, and see you on our next video. Have a great day.